Well, hello, and thank you for tuning in to today's episode of Stream Stealers, the twice-a-week series where I get to talk to some really amazing film and TV people who have backgrounds in theater that you may or may not know about. Today's special guest is Courtney B. Vance, who has a Tony Award for Lucky Guy, is on HBO's upcoming Lovecraft Country, premiering August 16th, and is currently the president of the SAG-AFTRA Foundation, which is an amazing organization that I have loved for years. So let's bring Courtney on.
Hello, all. Hello, Mr. Mark.
Hello. I'm so delighted that you're able to do this because I've been such a fan for so long. And when I think of people for this show, you are so at the top of that list in terms of having this career that encompasses all of the different mediums and film and TV and certainly theater, which theater is just harder to remember because it's that thing of if you weren't there, then you don't have the memory.
Right. No, that's right. And if you weren't there for Lucky Guy or Fences or Moon for the Misbegotten or any of the wonderful pieces that are on Broadway, you missed it. And I guess you can go to Lincoln Center and see.
Yeah, but it's not the same. As we're discovering, it is very much not the same to watch recorded theater.
No, it's not the same. Not at all.
But before we get into all of that, I am so excited about Lovecraft Country because I love this direction that HBO is going in, taking these genre shows like Watchmen, like Lovecraft Country, and using it as an opportunity to really dig into some really nasty real-life horror stories about America.
Right. No, it's a big one. HBO is really looking for it to replace that spot for Game of Thrones, and it's big like that. We're a family, and as far as we know, we're just going on another one of our green book. We go down south, and back in the 50s and before, Black people couldn't travel down south, so there had to be somebody who went down there and mapped out where you can go get your hair done and your nails and you have a good meal and where you could stay and all those kinds of banal things that we don't even think of. But if you were traveling, and everyone in the North was from the South and had people in the South, so come the summertime, they went back down south to see family, and so it was a very big thing to know where to go. And so our family was one of those families that went down and mapped out where these places that were favorable to African Americans back in the day, and so. And the whole family, my daughter, my wife, and I are all involved in it. My daughter is an 11-year-old. She's an illustrator, and very, very good. And so when we detailed out where we're going to go, she takes the map and she draws some iconic figures, positive and negative. If it's a nice place for us, then there'll be a wonderful, wonderful, beautiful, kind, gentle little icon there. But if it's other than that, there's a monster there. So it's very interesting that when we go to these places, the monsters that she drew are the monsters that we encounter, in addition to the quote unquote monsters in terms of the real life monsters, the sheriffs and all the folks who were not favorable for Black people back in that day.
Yeah. Were you familiar with the novel that it was based on, the 2016 novel?
I was not familiar with that, or with the author, or with his predilection to not like Black people. So he was an avowed racist, and his monsters were anybody who wasn't a white Anglo-Saxon Protestant male. So he had a lot of us were monsters in his eyes. So it's so how ironic that we flipped it on its head, and who's the monster? and others like him in our story.
So you signed on 2 years ago. What was the filming process like? Was it all on location? Did you find some pockets of under gentrified parts of the country where there haven't been a ton of renovations?
For the pilot, we shot it outside of Chicago because we have to find places that are that say small town southern life, and so that it's you have to go further and further out to find that these days. And so we were 50, 60, 70, 80 miles outside of Chicago in these various little towns, gorgeous little towns. You wouldn't know where you were. So hats off to the locations department for finding these places. And so we shot in and around Chicago for the pilot, and for the series we shot in and around Atlanta and on a soundstage in Atlanta.
I love getting to go visit sets in Atlanta because they have all of those complexes. And anytime I get to go to Atlanta and get that food, I'm very happy.
Yes, I know. I'm trying. I've packed it on a bit. I've released a lot of it. So, yeah. We won't go there though.
What were some of the biggest surprises as you kind of dug into this world of the Green Book and the real life world that is part of the story, not the HBO Lovecraft monsters?
The real life world of what was surprises we were shooting?
Just in terms of like looking at the research and what the Green Book meant and the people who contributed to the Green Book.
Well, I for this one, I jumped in for timing reasons. I didn't have an opportunity to do a lot of research on this. Plus, I knew the time frame. I've done projects in and around this era. The challenging thing for us, because we were dealing with monsters, not the sheriffs and the racist monsters, but the imagined monsters that which were all CGI. That was very challenging for us all to actually, and it just takes time. It's very time consuming to, there's a person with some sticks and some balls, and you have to do all of the things that you do so that when everything is put together, you don't look foolish. So that was challenging for all of us. And the weather, and and these things, they just take a lot of time to do. So the schedule, you have to, in a real sense, you have to let it go and just focus on being safe and getting all the things that the CGI gentlemen and ladies need. So.
I always picture with CGI monsters, I always picture someone standing slightly off camera with an upside down mop, just waving the mop head.
Kind of, we were a little more sophisticated than that, but we were kind of like that. Yeah. So.
And that is where your training came in.
Right. That's right. Yeah, a lot of training there. Okay.
So you have Lovecraft Country coming out. You've been doing press for that, but on top of everything else, and I was so delighted when you agreed to come on and talk about the show, because you're very busy as president of the SAG-AFTRA Foundation in the midst of the worldwide coronavirus pandemic that has shut down film and TV production and put a lot of people's jobs in a very precarious position.
It's a very painful time period. It's real. If you don't, this industry and this, there's so many industries like it. This industry has been decimated by it, and it's been going on, as we all know, since March. So what do people do for 5, 6, 7, the months? And even when we start back up, it's going to take a minute for us to get back up to speed. So it's you talking about a complete devastation of an industry. And for all those folks who have the subsidiary jobs, their go-to jobs to make money when they're not working, those jobs are gone as well. So, and they're talking about unemployment, stopping the $600 unemployment benefits. I just, in terms of the human cost, I don't know how, if you are about people, which politicians say they are, but I don't know how you sleep at night knowing that the one thing that we're in the middle of, probably the most devastating pandemic and situation in this country since the Depression / World War II. So I don't know how you can even debate about what's there to debate about. There's no problem when it was time to get money to the big corporations when they had to be subsidized for this time period. I don't understand how don't we deserve to be taken care of during this time period as well. So it's something that as a voter, I say I just remember. I'm going to remember this, and that's how I approach. I would advise everyone to deal with this situation. You get through it the best way you can. I mean, I know that's what we as the SAG-AFTRA Foundation, we're raising money to be able to help the little bit that we can. 5,900 people we've been able to get the monies as we raised. I think it's $5.7 million we've raised, and 100% of that goes right to cover just basic needs, maybe $1,000 per person to be able to just live, so it's catastrophic, and it's something that usually with effective leadership at the helm of our country, usually it's something that brings us all together. A situation like this brings everyone. We can do this. We are one. We're a country. This is how and you just go down the list of times where we've had to come together as a country, and we're going to get through this together. We're going to. There's nobody saying that. Nobody's talking the talk, and so consequently, people are. It just undermines their confidence in everything, in every aspect of our lives. And that's what I think is the most devastating thing too, because the countries and economies are based on confidence. You talking about opening up the country again, and people don't have any confidence. You open it up for what? Are we going to die if we open it up? Have you dealt with that? Has somebody talked? You're confused about masks. We haven't got by the mask issue. So it's a situation where we, as an organization, and I'm so grateful for the people around me and the SAG-AFTRA Foundation to be able to help me, to be able to help to be the person out front to say we're here, we're doing those fireside chats, which our 45 should be doing, so that people have a sense of, we're going to get through this together, and we understand where you are. We understand. We have an inkling of understanding of what you're dealing with in your families and in your communities. So all that we can do, and we're trying to do things to make people, to buoy people's spirits. So what do you? Do you do some monologues? Are you doing some dance numbers? Or so be creative with the time that you have, and so that you're not, your mind is somewhere other than on the negative. That's not going anywhere. So do something with so that when we do get through this, that you'll have some sort of body of work or some sort of thing you'll be able to turn into, potentially a project. Write something, read something, gather a bunch of the folks that are home with you. And
I started this talk show.
Yeah, there we go. So that's what time it is. That's the human mind and spirit is indomitable. If you put it to work, there's no telling what. The Hoover Dam was built in the Depression. So in no computers, just the mind of men and women just How are we going to do this? What can we do? What are you going to do? What? So,
well, and I love that they built the Hoover Dam in the Depression and refused to call it the Hoover Dam because everyone hated Hoover so much.
Oh, he was a mess. He sat there and did sounds very familiar. Did absolutely nothing. And they called there was thousands of people in these little encampments all around. They had one in Central Park, and they called them Hoovervilles.
Which is one of the parts of the musical Annie that did not make it into the movie, but there is a whole Hooverville musical sequence in Annie.
Yeah, that's where we are now. We're in another Hooverville time.
But I mean, it's so surreal to talk to you about Lovecraft Country, to talk to Harry Lloyd about the Brave New World adaptation on Peacock, to talk to O.J. Fingbally about The Handmaid's Tale, all these dystopian stories, these real life horror stories that at some degree are, fictional and heightened in fantasy, but at another degree are not that far removed from what we're living through right now.
No, that's right. This is big boy, big girl time. And it's time to exercise your options when you pull that lever. And no matter what they try to do in terms of messing with the system, I say this is the time. This is the time to step up. This is the time that people exercise their power. If we can make Black Panther $1.5 billion creeping up on $2 billion movie, we can do this. We can exercise our option to say, no, not here. This is our country, and you're not going to destroy it. So that's what I know. That I'm emboldened by what's going on, and I'm not going to allow someone who doesn't care about the country to come in and tell me that this is what the norm is. This is not the norm. This is not right. What's going on in this country right now is not right. This country is about people. That's how we got to the place where 45 could actually be in the position to assume the mantle, and to assume the mantle and to dummy down the office. Nah, not on our watch. That's enough.
Yep. Well, I think, and one of the really inspiring things that has come out of this is seeing organizations and presidents like you and SAG-AFTRA Foundation, like Tom Biola at Broadway Cares Equity Fights AIDS, like Joe Benincasa at the Actors Fund, really stepping up and taking care of these communities that are so frightened and completely at a loss. There is nothing on the horizon, particularly for the theater, for Broadway and New York City theater. There is nothing coming up.
Yeah, and those people who are, and not just the actors, all the people that allow actors to get on the stage, all the industries that support the acting profession, those are gone. And so all those people need to be supported as that's what our job is now, to support each other. That's what our job is now.
Well, when Broadway does come back, I hope that you will come back with it.
Oh, I'm coming back.
And
I'm not going to be away as I was before. So
it's been too long.
Since 2013 already. So
well, you won a Tony and said, all right, done. Checked it off.
Yeah, time to come back for more. What
do you remember about Tony night for Lucky Guy when you picked up the trophy?
George C. Wolfe and I were getting our tuxes tailored in the costume department, and both of us had our pants off, just standing there waiting for the pants to be, hemmed or put together, and we're just sitting there in our underwear, just like yeah, what's up, George C? This is gonna be a great night, we had it was such a family affair what our show was, and I've never, I've done Broadway before, and I've been to a lot of plays, and I've been in a few, and I've never seen a situation where all of Broadway waited for us to get out so that they could be. The block was completely. They had to have police to help people get down on the block because everybody wanted to see Tom Hanks come out of the dressing room and out of the stage door. I've never seen that. That was surreal to be sitting on the balcony every night, not just every night. That there's only a few people that can do that, and to see the humility that he had and has and is, very humble, very kind gentleman, to be able to see that, and it was exhibited by the way he approached the role. He had never done Broadway before, and he basically said to all, "How to help me? I don't know what I'm doing. Help." And so all of us just surrounded him, and there was the closing monologue, and we all have because it was a fast-paced show, and it was huge, a lot of light cues, a lot of sound cues, and there was moments when he just would, like I would, be da, 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 and just lose his place. And there was a moment at the end there when he, the play was tumbling, and he, at the end, we were just about to close, and he would lose his place. And unfortunately, I don't know how, but I knew his lines, and I would just go da 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 da, and he would go yeah da 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 da. That's it. And afterwards, people would go, "How do you know his lines?" I don't know. I barely know mine. But and thank God I know his. And somebody better learn mine because I've been missing some of my lines too. So somebody better cover me. So that's the beauty of live theater, being able to be in the moment, and who knows what's going to happen. I remember I was doing Fences, and that was before Velcro, and my zipper broke. I'm coming down the alley, and I'm a Marine sergeant, and coming down the alley, my zipper is I can't fix it. Go, Courtney, go. And I just have to have my hands in front of my crotch and for the whole scene. And I said, that better not happen again. That better not happen. The very next night, bam, same thing happened again. So after that, we discovered Velcro, and again. But no more zippers, no zippers. But live theater, there's nothing like it. There's nothing like it.
Well, and I mean, looking at your Broadway resume alone, I mean, it's Lucky Guy, it's Fences, it's 6 Degrees. I mean, these are your track record is.
We did 6 Degrees for a year and a half. We did Fences for a year on Broadway. We did Fences on and off for 3 years.
Right.
We finished. We did a year stint on Broadway, and then we did 3 months after that in LA at the Doolittle Theater. So it's it affords you an ironclad the sense of focus no matter what's going on. I lost my dad during 6 Degrees. My girlfriend at the time. There's just Miss Mary Alice lost her mother and father while we were doing Fences. It showed me the way that this is the hardest part of doing theater is getting to the theater, because life is happens to everyone as you're doing these plays. And if you can just get to the theater, your life may be crazy, but you know what to do when you get to the theater. I got my rhythm, got my ritual. I know what to do when I get to my, hey, stage door person. How are you, Jimmy? Yeah, I'm good. I'm pretty good. Let me just get in my dressing room and close the door. And if I can get into my dressing room, I can get into a rhythm. Hey, everybody, hey, makeup, yeah, get my warm up, and ready to 5, 4, lights down. Oh, you know what you're doing. Okay, so it's that I miss that.
Yeah.
That rhythm, and what it takes to get there. That's the hard part, is doing what you need to do, struggling. The struggle it takes to get to the place, the fear that you have to conquer to get to that place where you're singing and you're not worrying about anything but the moment. So that's, very few people have that sense that they're flying. And that's what theater, when you're the matching of the right people and the right piece and the right direction, and all that's needed now is the audience. And as soon as the lights go down and the tuning fork hits, and we're so yeah, I miss that.
No, I think one of the great things about getting to do this series and getting to talk to people who straddle both worlds is everyone is so excited to talk about the theater that they've done. And everyone's eyes light up. Everyone gets so excited about to share these stories about doing live theater. And there's something so special about getting your start in the theater community. And it's so small and everyone knows each other. And it really is such a community that it stays with you. And certainly Playbill considers people, I mean, we still write about Julianne Moore as if does Broadway regularly, but you do it once and you're in your family.
That's right. It's there's something about the struggle to get to opening night, and it's the most frightening, exhilarating, thing to actually start the first rehearsal. I remember we were doing the Lucky, and I got so enamored with our rehearsal space when it was time to move into the theater. I really didn't want to go. I didn't want to leave the rehearsal space because I knew it and I felt comfy, and I didn't want to begin another process to get used to the space. But then I said, "Well, I'll have my own space. I'll have my own dressing room. Okay, let's go. I want to go." And just those anchors, that give you, because it's all about, as I said, for me, confidence, getting the confidence to be, because actors, I think, are the most courageous people to go out in front of, we had a month-long preview process. That meant for a month after we began previews, we were rehearsing from 12:30 to 5, and then doing the show. And then, so you're exhausted, but that process of exhaustion, your sinews, your muscles are so, by the time you open, you're like iron. Everybody's iron, and they know the show inside and out, and they can, it's getting to that point where you do opening night and you go, and you've arrived. Once you've done it and you've gone through the fire, so to speak, everybody goes, that's why we went with Tom. We were like, "Tom, man, you're it, man. You did this thing." And boy, did he do it. We're still such a tight company because of George C. Wolfe. And when everyone has a birthday, everyone weighs in. And Tom had the COVID, and everybody was with him and on him and emailing any successes, any illnesses. We are still such a tight family. So that's rare.
Okay, we have to wrap up, but I wish that we didn't. Final two questions. Question number one, and I think I might know the answer to this one already, but are there any charities or organizations that you would like to draw people's attention to right now?
I would just say I'm a huge Boys and Girls Clubs of America supporter. I was a club kid when I was 8 years old, all the way to 13, and then I was inducted into the Boys and Girls Club Hall of Fame. I think it was in 2005 or 2006, and I host their national conventions for the last 12, 13, 14 years. So them, and of course I can't think of the mission company that we take care of. But someone will give it to me. Somebody will send me a text. Union Rescue Mission. There you go. We're huge fans of the homelessness in all over the country, but Los Angeles is very acute. And then, of course, the SAG-AFTRA Foundation.
I hope that the text message was from Tom Hanks, who still knows your part and can supply you with your lines.
Yes, it wasn't him, but he knows my lines now. What, you saved me. So, yeah.
And then final question. You've been busy, but I'm dying to know if you've had the chance to watch it, catch up on any shows during quarantine.
I'm a limited a series kind of junkie. Okay. Right now, I'm in thick. I was a Game of Thrones, for real, Game of Thrones, of course. But the Alienist is, yeah, that's my joint. The Alienist and Perry Mason. What?
I'm obsessed with Perry Mason.
My sister, for 25, 30 years, longer, has been all into Perry Mason. I said, Cecily, please, I don't want to hear about Perry Mason. Don't talk about Perry Mason. She said, Courtney, Perry Mason, they're doing a reboot. I said, yeah, right. I said, if in HBO, I said, oh, HBO. Oh, if it's HBO, that's not television, it's HBO. So I may have to tune in. I got in that thing. I can't turn it loose. I go right from, I do my Alienist, those 2 episodes, and then I go right into Perry Mason, and when it's over, I'm so depressed. I want to keep going. I'm just, okay. So the Crown was a big for me. What was my, I can't think of any more right now, but I love them. What was one with Bryan Cranston about the method?
Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
When Giancarlo Esposito, when he died and he came out of the room and the half of him was burnt and he was fixing his tie and he crumbled out of that was just too much for me. And of course, Homeland was I couldn't tell. Homeland was it for me. Homeland. Oh.
So you really like some lighthearted fare to unwind with at the end of the day.
Give it to me straight, no chaser. Give it to me straight, baby. I'm in it. I'm all the way in it. I was shocked that my mom, who passed away of ALS in 2017, I was shocked that she was, God rest her soul, she was into Game of Thrones. I said, Mom, it's a little racy. It's a little sexy, violent, cutting off people's heads and things. I mean, I don't know if you thought I'd like. She was like, one blink, because she couldn't speak. One blink meant yes. 2 blinks meant no. She said, you like it, Mommy? So we sat there and watched the whole 8 seasons. It was just ooh. And said I would get it. I would get there at 10, and we'd watch one. Of course, it rolls right into the next one. I said, Mommy, I can do. She was ready for the third. I said, Mommy, I got to go to bed. I got to go to bed. You watch it. You can watch as many as you want. You can stay up late. She said, No, I'll wait for you. I said, okay. So that was my limited series girl. We used to hang tough.
That's I like your taste. I do.
Amen. We got any other ones? And I'm supposed to mention Project Power on Netflix. That I was in that with Jamie Foxx, and that's that's an amazing piece that I can't wait. I saw it, but I can't wait for it to come out. I think it comes out the 16th. Let me see here, the 14th. With Dominique Fishback and Joseph Gordon-Levitt. So I saw it. It's amazing. You'll see it when it comes out on the 14th. Ex-soldier, teen, and a cop collide in New Orleans as they hunt for the source behind the dangerous new pill that grants users temporary superpowers.
Sign me up.
For the pill?
For the pill and the series.
I don't know if you want the pill. You got to watch it first. Watch it first before you sign the pill.
Fair. I should do my research. You're right. Who knows what the side effects are?
That's right. You don't want no pill. So anyway, I appreciate
Thank you so much for joining me today. This was so much fun and such a delight. And like I said, I'm a huge fan and a huge fan of SAG-AFTRA Foundation as well. What you guys have done over the last 4 months is really remarkable. And you have a really good team over there that are doing the Lord's work right now, because it's scary to be in the performing arts right now.
That's right. You were so right, Mark. You were so right. So it's prayer time. That's what it is. So thank you.
Thank you for joining me, and all of you, thank you for watching, and tune in on Thursday when I will have another very special guest.
Thank you for this. This is a great service you provide.
Oh, please. I'm so delighted that you were able to be part of it. All right. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.